obviously served a long apprenticeship and now you're head coach in Super League for real. How does that feel?
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting, obviously. Yeah, it's been, I wouldn't say it's been a long road. I think I've been quite happy where I am, really, just starting learning and working under people and just sort of learning my trade, so to speak. So, I've been in the game a long time. I think I started my professional sort of journey in 2002 when I played in the academy for that, so creeping into the 90s nearly when I started my rugby league journey. So yeah, but really excited, really proud, really privileged. Yeah, can't wait to get started.
You've obviously had a taste of it, what it's like to be a head coach, and it's not the first time, is it? After all your years in the game, do you feel ready for this opportunity now?
Yeah, definitely so. Look, probably felt ready for a few years really, and the last time I took the interim head coaching role after Simon Wolford left, I felt like I wasn't far off then. At that moment in time when people asked me were I ready, and probably looking back, I don't think I was ready, but I wasn't far off at that point. So the last few years has been just about harnessing my skills, really taking a little bit more in, and yeah, I feel like I think I can do this job very well now.
You're obviously hopeful all the way through the process, but did the timing of it catch you off guard?
Yeah, a little bit. I knew I was down to I received an email. I knew I was down to the last few applicants, so on the short list. But yeah, when he just invited me out to his house, I just thought it were just for a catch up regarding the team and where we're at and injuries and how the lads have trained and things of that nature. Yeah, so I don't know, a little bit unexpected that he asked me then. Yeah, well, yeah, made me a nice cup of tea as well. I'm partial to a team, and yeah, we had a good chat. Look, one thing about Kenny is obviously he's a businessman he's a very intelligent, very astute man. But I've always found him very honest. And very straight talking. It's what he says to you, you know it's the truth. So, and hopefully he feels the same way about myself. Whenever I speak, I speak from the heart. And I'm nice and honest. So, yeah, when they had these conversations, I think we both got a good gauge of what each other are about.
Now he's put his trust in you. How determined are you to repay that faith?
Oh, extremely. There's nobody that puts any more pressure on the self than me. I did that as a player. For however many years I played, I was probably my biggest critic, if I'm honest. Probably a little bit too harsh on myself at times, and it's the same with the coaching. Nobody will put any more pressure on me. I know there's a lot of outside noise. You lose a few games, inevitably you get the job and profession we're in. That's just the way, the nature of the beast. That people are going to question you and call you. But I feel like as long as your heart's in the right place and you think that you're doing the best for the club and the team first, then yeah, I'm comfortable with everything that goes on around me.
Ian Watson very much about processes. What will the Luke Robinson team look like once you've had some time to put your stamp on it?
Yeah, and that's probably one thing that's probably going to take a little bit of time. I don't think, especially with the time frame that this has happened, and it's not the club's fault. It's not nobody's fault. It's just the way that it's transpired. That when you go to the end of the season, there's not that much you can manoeuvre some stuff, but it's very difficult to sort of change big things. I can make little tweaks here and there and try and put my influence on it, but it's going to take a little bit of time. But I'm all about effort. I'm all about desire, and I think whatever side I've coached, whether it's been at academy level or when I've tried to influence teams above me, it's always been about that. Whether I coached me under 13s at Siddle, which I coach the 13s at the moment, whether they get beaten or not, they're all effort and desire. That's one thing they'll never get beat on.
Would you like a little bit of flair in your team as well?
Oh, look, professional sport's about having. You can't have all the same thing. You can't just play with a bunch of players that try really hard if they've got no skill and no quality about them. It's about balance. Professional sport's about balance, about having the right people in the right areas. You've got to have your workhorses. You need that little bit of flair and exuberance, to actually finish the tries, and you need that little bit of smarts. You need people with brains that can manipulate the way that the game's being played and use it to their advantage. So you need different types of players and in different positions, but I think they've all got to have the work ethic.
Have you had any thoughts about who will assist you?
We've had a few people that have crossed my mind. I've spoke to a few people. I've yet to sit down with the club and we've discussed it in a little bit, but obviously it's been such a small sort of time scale since it's happened. But now that it's been announced, there's been a few applicants that have come forward and thrown the name in the hat. And now it's probably just a little bit about weighing them options up and going through it and working out who suits me best and who I'll deem will help us and not only help myself but help the team and the club.
Have you worked with some of those people before?
Yeah, there's a couple that I've worked with before that a couple that I've actually played with that I know really well, that I've grown up with. There's some other players that I know from not players, coaches that I've known from afar that I've not actually dealt with, but I know people that know them. So yeah, it's just about seeing who is available, and like I said before, it's about sort of styles, what I need that'll complement what I've got and complement what I think the team needs.
So no names yet?
No.
Now, where can you see this club getting to under your leadership?
Oh look, first and foremost, we need to improve. We need to get better. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you don't just go from the bottom house to the penthouse straight away. You've got to build. And I love what OKR have done. I really like what they've done. You look at the way they've gone around the sort of past 3 or 4 years. They came in, put a lot of workmanlike, put a lot of effort, lads into that side. You can tell that the style of rugby that it plays. Really like that, but I think what they did off the field regarding the recruitment as well, they've just slowly built. They've slowly built, and they're now obviously sitting at the top of the Super League, and they look like they're making even better signings for next year to improve them again. I just think, the way they've gone about is probably something that Huddersfield Giants should probably try and emulate a little bit. And it ain't about just jumping straight to the top. It's about putting them building blocks in place that not only make us challenge, but actually make us sustainable. Because I think that's one of the things that the Giants were probably not done. We've had really good years, or we've had little patches of good years, but then we've not sustained that success. So I think that's probably one of the big things that we need to do.
You mentioned OKR there in their recruitment right at the start. They brought in someone like Sean Kennedy as a leader and an experienced figure. You can have a say on recruitment now, a proper say. Will you be going out and trying to find a similar character? Oh,
they're the characters that you want. I think I've stated previously, it's not just about playing. I think the type of person that you get into your environment regarding culture, I know culture gets branded around a lot, but culture just basically means the standards that you set for yourself and the people in and around you. And if we can have good people that set good standards, which I think we've got a few players coming in next year that, let's be honest, Burgess has played at the highest level, he's done it at international level, he's done it in the NRL, and he's somebody that's obviously sets high standards. He's somebody that we're really looking forward to coming in and setting those goals and aspirations that we all have. But the more people you can have in your environment, the better that is.
Yeah, and can you start to push the button on deals now that you have got the job?
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult than that. It's not just if you had a magic wand, it would be that easy. I'd love to sign a bloke called Nathan Cleary. He's not a bad player, and players of that nature. But yeah, look, in a salary cap sport, when you come into the end of the year where a lot of stuff's tied up, I'm not sure how much room there is for manoeuvrability. I've said before, the players that we've got within that squad, I feel like we can get better. We fix up some areas in his game, individually and as a group. I think we'll be better for it next year. But I don't think it's going to happen overnight, instantaneously. Fingers crossed we can do business, make things happen, but yeah, it's not that easy.
Have you got any targets you've personally identified?
Yeah, there's one or two. Hopefully in the next coming weeks, we should hopefully potentially maybe might have gone through, might not. But like it's really difficult this time of year. You are chasing your tail. You're scrambling around, and it is last minute. But yeah, we've got some things that we've been speaking about. Some players that have been brought to us attention. We just need to work out in our restraints whether we can make that happen.
Just off the topic slightly about grading, there's a lot of bullish comments about from Wakefield and Casford about being over 14 points, close to 15 points. Huddersfield have been quite quiet on it. Where is the club at on that front?
Yeah, that's not my department. I'm not going to lie. That's not something that I've been really overly worried about. I've had a lot of other things on my mind at this moment in time, and the way I thought would be quite comfortable. The Giants, the systems and setup, the youth system we've got in place, and things like that. It's probably more of a question for the MD or the director of rugby or somebody a bit higher up than that. Yeah,
but from your conversations, there's no concerns about it because you were ninth, weren't you? So you weren't too far away from that 12th, 13th spot.
Well, there's always a little bit. It can make you anxious when they're lower down the table. You fall in the point system. You don't want to go too far down, obviously. But I'd like to think we've done enough over the years, and we've done enough on the field. We've done enough off the field that we can hopefully get ourselves in the right point system.
With enough points. Just finally on this game on Sunday, how nice would it be to get off the mark for real with a win?
Oh, look, it'd be, don't get me wrong, they're playing good rugby in London. London are playing good rugby, and they've actually made it extremely difficult for teams to beat them, even when they've lost. You've only got to look at last week when they probably should have beat Leeds, really. If anybody who watched the game, they had more opportunities than Leeds. They hit the post a couple of times, and I think even before the game, I thought they had the upper hand for large parts of the game. So they're no deadbeats, and they're playing with some confidence, and it's not going to be an easy game at all. And especially with, we might have 4 more players out this week, so it's not going to be an easy proposition, but it's one we're reveling. These are games you want to play. You want to play in exciting games where stuff matter, and there's a little bit of tension, and that's what I'll be harping on to the boys. These are the games we've got to get excited about, get up for, and make sure we come away with the 2 points.
You said you lost a couple or a few. Have you got anyone back this week?
Well, we thought we had Ollie Wilson back. Potentially we had Ollie Wilson back. That's what I'm really excited about. Ollie, obviously, he's an international rugby league player, so he makes us a hell of a lot better. But his wife's gone into labour, so really good luck to him. I'm not sure where he was yesterday, but it doesn't seem to be. I'm not sure much has happened at this moment in time. So, so we're wishing him all the best, and family always comes first. I'm a big believer in family comes first. My wife might not agree with that. She thinks rugby sometimes comes before that. But we're all we're over the moon for Ollie. Hopefully it all goes well for him. But yeah, from a rugby perspective, I'm just not sure yet whether he's going to be right or not to be playing. Ash Golden has got a calf injury, so it looks like he's going to be out for 2 weeks. Milner's had a bad back over the last few weeks. He had his steroid injection when he thought he might be available this week, but took a bit of a knock in training, so he might now be a setback. And Matt English is still struggling a little bit, and we'll probably have to make a decision on him later on in the week. So I said before, lots of question marks, but every time one door shuts, it opens for somebody else, and it's a chance for maybe one of the young lads to come up to take that opportunity.
So is it a case of if you fit, you're playing, or not far off that?
Not far off that.